Good morning. I had a lovely night's sleep in a lovely comfy bed in the warm. It was really good. And today we're going to go off and explore Worcester. So I'm really excited about that. I've never been here before. And this is Paula's hometown. So yeah, I've got a tour guide. And later we might do a little podcast, which we haven't done for a long time on the 2-for-1. So looking forward to that. I looked through the poem books last night. There's a couple of poems, but I'm just going to read you one for now and one later. And this one's from Talking to the Wild. And it's called Sunset, even though it's morning. The sun wakes up each morning and she combs her fiery hair. And she sometimes holds the clouds aloft so we don't see her there. She settles to her work, a never-ending 9 to 5. And she ticks off all her jobs to do, like keeping Earth alive. She's busy every moment working hard behind the scenes, but you tell her she does nothing, for you judge by what you've seen. You criticise the grey sky and you curse the dampened day. You moan it's cold and dreary and the sun's the one to blame. And it's only when she's setting, when she's off to work elsewhere, that you all of a sudden recognise the colours in her hair. See, the saddest thing of all is that she's been here all the time, but you fail to see her beauty till she's fading from the sky. And the keynote to that is to be grateful always. And Eckhart Tolle, one of the things he said that I heard in my sobriety journey really resonated with me, was that the sun is always there. It's always shining. We just can't always see it. So no matter what's happening in life, there is brighter skies. The sun is there. We just have to find it and look for the gold within. Because again, we can't help what happens out there. We can only help what happens in here and in our hula hoop. So yeah, I'm just going to take that lesson again today. That the sun is always there. No matter what happens, the sun is there. We just have to look for it sometimes. And good will always come. Yeah, everything will be right in the end. And if it's not all right, it's not the end. This is part of the old Worcester what? China?
Worcester porcelain.
Worcester porcelain. So a lot of the old buildings are knocked down, but some of them are still here.
A lot of this is the old Worcester porcelain, which is one of the oldest, it's one of the only factories that was granted a royal charter to be built within the city limits. Because as we know, with older buildings, you had an East Gate, West Gate, North Gate, South Gate, and there were no factories within those gates, but this was one that was built within the gates, and it was given a royal charter. And we have a gilding house, we have various old warehouses, and we're heading for breakfast in part of where the museum is.
Yay! Let's go. So this is the gilding house. And then the warehouses used to be here, just full of china, obviously gone now. But they used to gild them with gold, yeah?
Yes.
With gold.
And real gold.
Real gold on the edges and inside as well. Grisly story here for vegetarians and vegans. Don't drink out of bone china. Why, Paula?
Because it's actually got real bone in it. It's ground up bone meal, which makes the china extremely strong. So yes. It's
I didn't know that. Apparently if you turn 2 china cups upside down, you can stand on top of them, and if you put your finger on the bottom of the cup, you can see your finger through it if it's real bone china. So there you go. That's the test for you.
fine bone china.
Yeah, if you can see your finger and you're vegetarian at the bottom of your cup, don't drink out of it. This is where we're going for breakfast, but it's still part of the
Royal Worcester porcelain, and it's
porcelain.
right next to the museum.
And then afterwards,
That's his name.
you go in the museum.
Henry Sandon.
Paula can't remember her name, but it's at the Henry Sandon Hall, and he is
From the Antiques Roadshow, and he was always a huge supporter of Worcester porcelain.
Yeah.
Always, he loved it. Absolutely. And here we have the teapot sculpture, which I have been looking for.
Oh, we've got to get a picture in front of that because Paula and I are right teapots. Well, so far I'm absolutely loving it here. So many vegan and vegetarian options, and I've just ordered and I've got an almond milk turmeric latte, and it is my new favourite drink. I need to go large. It's amazing. And yeah, they've got lots of vegan and gluten-free, so vegan and gluten-free cakes, like in the same. Not I'm having the cakes because I'm 6 weeks off of sugar, but yeah, lots of options. I love it. I love it. Not that I've eaten anything yet, but the proof is in the pudding, as they say, or the good butty in my case.
It's just a nice walk every morning. When I do my walking in the morning, I go around and back down in a huge circle.
Hi. This monument is for Colonel Sir Henry Wharton Ellis.
Do you want me to hold the stick while you take the picture?
Who was wounded 8 times.
He died of his wounds on the 20th of June 1815, aged 32.
From a musket shot, but before that he'd been injured in Holland, Egypt, West Indies, America, Spain, Portugal and France. But he fell at Waterloo.
Do you know, yeah, he was with Wellington. Look.
Yeah.
Wellington, in words that will perish only with history itself.
This is the coffin of Richard Eads, who was chaplain to Queen Elizabeth I and also James I. Yeah. Look at this organ casing, it's amazing. It was presented to Cathedral in 1874 by the Earl of Dudley, and Elgar's organ sonata was actually premiered on it in 1895. It's not currently working, but there are plans to renovate it. This is the tomb of Bad King John of Robin Hood fame, who became king after the death of his brother, Richard Lionheart. And it was thought for very many years that he was buried here because this was his will, even though he died at Newark. But it was thought for many years that his body wasn't actually here, but they did find in the 1700s, they found his body in here and parts of his body, but many of the parts were stolen by the workmen. I mean, why you'd want to, and his bones, including a thumb bone, which was later recovered, and is now apparently in the Cathedral Library. So there's a little side chapel here. Holder's just going in, it's just managed to get them tiny stairs. After Arthur, Prince of Wales, who was the brother, or the elder brother of King Henry VIII, and the first husband of Catherine of Aragon, which was what Henry VIII then based his annulment or divorce from Catherine of Aragon on, because he'd married his younger, or his brother's wife. Take it, this is his actual tomb then?
Yes. Prince of Wales Arms.
Arthur and Catherine were actually married when he was 15, and he died just 5 months later at Ludlow Castle. And so obviously when his father died, that's how King Henry VIII then became the younger brother, the King of England. And during his son's reign, when all the church had changed over, they defaced some of the statues. The son that he had with Jane Seymour, which was, what was his name? Edward the...
Oh, Henry VIII?
No, Henry VIII's son and Jane Seymour's son. Was it Edward? Edward the Sixth, I think.
Yeah, Edward the Sixth.
Yeah. So I thought it was unusual to see the War of the Roses, the two roses together. But that is because this is Prince Arthur's chantry, and Arthur's father, King Henry VII, ended the War of the Roses by marrying Edward IV's daughter, Elizabeth. And because before, the two houses of York and Lancaster had been at war, a very bloody war for very many years. And this commemorates that, and that's why the two roses are together, side by side. This was all hand carved by a boy, or who became a man, who was originally the button boy. He was just showing people's buttons. And he later went on to hand carve all of this. And he would have absolutely loved this. And then down below, this bit, you can see the shiny bit where people come and stroke Christ. And it's shiny. I don't know why this bit's shiny as well. People like to stroke that too. Beak. Just looking. Wow.
Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. You've got a heart. The wings are gorgeous, don't they?
Hello.
Hello.
So we're here on the Worcester to
The
Birmingham
Worcester-Birmingham Canal.
Canal. Look, we've got swans, wooden swans, real
Yeah.
swans. We've got
We've
lots.
got real swans, we've got the food.
We've got we're feeding the ducks. Look, the lock's behind us. We've had a good day, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Done
Yeah.
a lot of walking.
We have. We didn't get to the museum because it was
No.
shut when we came out of the cafe. And by the time Paula had taken me all around Worcester and the cathedral, I just needed to come back and go to
And
sleep.
get a nap. Afternoon naps all round.
Yes, I had to have a very long afternoon nap. But we did do a podcast too.
Yep, so
That was
anyone
good.
who wants to listen to it, sobertownpodcast.com.
That will be up
In a
soon.
couple of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get there.
And
So,
now we're heading home for coffee and
that's
bed.
it.
Decaf, of course. So,
Yeah, we're off for our evening tipple.
night night. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
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 Me again, as always, back because I forgot to read the second poem that I was going to read. But firstly, Paula bought me a beautiful bracelet today with the Serenity Prayer on. So for those of you who don't know the Serenity Prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I don't know why I read that because I know it. It's my go-to. I use it all the time. But it's actually inscribed on the bracelet. And the poem that I wanted to read to you from When I'm Gone was the one that really struck me last night. And it's called Still. I can't say I loved you. I just can't. Because it makes it sound as if my love is past tense. Gone. Finished. Ended. And that is so far from the truth. My love is not in the past. It will never be gone. I love you now. Still. You didn't take all this love away with you. It stays. It lingers. Some days it jumps up and hits me in the face just to remind me that it is still there, still persevering. Some days it nudges me, challenges me to keep going, daring me to find the strength to get through the day. But mostly it just resonates inside of me with everything I do, with every step forward and every glance back, every close of my eyes, every breath. My love is not dependent on you being here. There is nowhere far enough and nothing permanent enough to stop me from loving you. So I will not say I loved you because I love you still. Good night.
Saw your picture on my timeline. Saw your picture